The upcoming winter is shaping up to be anything but ordinary. Across the country, early signs are already hinting at a season that could test our resilience and preparation like few before it. From bustling city streets to quiet rural roads, communities are bracing for what meteorologists are calling a potentially historic winter. The air is thick with anticipation, and for good reason. This winter could bring challenges that will be talked about for years. Forecasters are warning of a season marked by major snow events, crippling ice storms, and relentless waves of brutal cold. The threat isn't just about inconvenience, it's about safety, mobility, and the ability of our infrastructure to withstand nature's extremes. Emergency crews are already preparing for the possibility of widespread power outages, hazardous travel, and the need for rapid response to communities cut off by snow and ice. Several key atmospheric drivers are aligning in a way that meteorologists rarely see. A significant shift in Pacific Ocean temperatures, known as El Niño or La Niña, is interacting with a volatile polar vortex high above the Arctic. These forces are setting the stage for repeated clashes between frigid Arctic air and moisture-laden systems from the south. The result? A recipe for frequent, intense winter storms that could sweep across vast stretches of the country, sometimes with little warning. Above-average snowfall is likely in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, where lake-effect snow could pile up quickly and persistently. Meanwhile, the Central U.S. faces a high risk of dangerous icing events, with freezing rain threatening to coat roads, trees, and power lines in a thick, hazardous glaze. These conditions could disrupt daily life, from school closures to supply chain interruptions, and make travel treacherous for days at a time. Understanding these large-scale weather patterns is crucial for preparation. Millions of people could be impacted by exceptional winter weather, and the time to get ready is now. Stocking up on essentials, preparing emergency kits, and staying informed through reliable weather updates can make all the difference. Communities that plan ahead will be better equipped to handle whatever this winter throws their way. In the coming weeks, we'll break down the expected impacts region by region, from blizzard-prone zones in the northern plains to areas at risk for ice storms and deep cold in the south and northeast. Each region faces its own unique set of challenges, and understanding these risks is the first step towards staying safe and resilient. The signs all point to a winter that demands respect, vigilance, and readiness. Whether you're a seasoned winter veteran or facing your first major storm, this is a season that could leave a lasting mark on our memories and our communities. Prepare now, stay informed, and together, we'll weather a winter to remember. The most critical factor this winter is the transition from El Niño to a developing La Niña, a shift that reconfigures global weather patterns. La Niña amplifies the polar jet stream, allowing Arctic air to plunge deep into the central and eastern U.S., setting the stage for prolonged cold. Meanwhile, the subtropical jet stream brings moisture northward from the Pacific and Gulf of Mexico, colliding with the advancing cold. This volatile mix creates a battle zone over the central U.S., fueling a relentless cycle of powerful winter storms. Instead of isolated events, expect a persistent pattern of snow and ice storms tracking across the country. This dynamic interplay underpins the forecast for a highly active and severe winter season. Pinsoodi Kenstendans and Kidder Daperdans. The upper Midwest and Great Lakes are primed for a truly exceptional winter, one that will be remembered for years to come. As the first flakes begin to fall, anticipation builds across the region, with residents bracing for what meteorologists are calling a historic season. Snowfall totals are projected to be a foot or more above average, with some areas likely to see even greater accumulations. This means neighborhoods could be transformed into winter wonderlands, but also face the challenges of managing so much snow. Persistent Arctic air will settle in, keeping temperatures well below freezing for extended periods. Frequent storms, fueled by moisture streaming up from the Gulf of Mexico, will collide with this cold air, creating ideal conditions for heavy, prolonged snowfall and blizzard-like conditions that can last for days. Lake-effect snow will further amplify totals, especially along the shores of western Michigan and upstate New York. Here, cold winds blowing over the Great Lakes will pick up moisture and dump relentless snow, leading to frequent whiteout conditions and rapidly changing visibility on roads. Major cities like Minneapolis, Chicago, and Detroit should prepare for a winter that will test not only infrastructure, but also the endurance and resilience of their residents. Commuters will face difficult drives, and city services will be pushed to their limits. The frequency and intensity of storms mean little respite between events. Public services, from snow removal to emergency response, will be under constant strain, and the cumulative impacts could stretch resources thin and test the patience of even the most winter-hardened locals. Even regions built for snow will be challenged by the sheer volume and persistence this season. High snowbanks, overwhelmed plows, and buried homes will become a common sight, requiring communities to work together to keep daily life moving. For the American snowbelt, this winter promises to be a classic, brutally snowy, unrelenting, and unforgettable. Residents will need to dig deep, both literally and figuratively, as they face a season that will truly define what it means to live in the heart of winter. The Northeast and Rockies are also in for a more active winter, with snowfall 6 to 12 inches above average. The storm track will send powerful systems northeast, raising the threat of multiple nor'easters capable of shutting down cities and dumping feet of snow. In the Rockies, frequent waves of cold, moist Pacific air will boost mountain snowfall, benefiting ski resorts and water supplies. However, these storms will create hazardous travel and avalanche risks. Both regions must prepare for frequent disruptions and challenging conditions. The same La Niña pattern drives these impacts, but each region will experience its own unique challenges. Expect a robust, high-impact winter from coast to mountains. In stark contrast, the Sierra Nevada faces a well below average winter, with a potential deficit of 2 to 3 feet of snow. La Niña typically steers storms away from California, leaving the state drier and milder than normal. The resulting weak snowpack threatens water supplies, agriculture, and increases wildfire risk for the coming year. Coastal and valley regions will see little precipitation, compounding drought concerns. For California, this winter is shaping up as a major challenge for water management and ecological balance. The Central U.S., from Texas to the Ohio Valley, is the wildcard zone, where the winter's impact hinges on the exact position of the battle zone. A slight shift south could bring major snow and devastating ice storms to cities unaccustomed to such events, crippling infrastructure and daily life. If the storm track stays north, the region may see a relatively quiet winter. This uncertainty makes preparation difficult, but vigilance is essential. The energetic La Niña pattern means small changes can have huge consequences. For millions, the message is clear: stay alert and be ready for rapid changes. Ice, not snow, may be the greatest threat this winter, especially across the nation's heartland. The setup is ideal for frequent freezing rain, with the highest risk centered on Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and Nebraska. Major ice storms can snap trees, down power lines, and cause widespread prolonged outages. Surrounding areas, including the Ohio Valley and Midwest, will see more frequent episodes of freezing rain and sleet, making travel treacherous. Ice is far harder to manage than snow, isolating communities and straining emergency services. Residents should prepare emergency kits and backup power plans now. The risk of destructive ice storms is one of the most concerning aspects of the coming winter. The polar vortex, a vast and powerful circulation of frigid air high above the Arctic, is expected to be especially strong this winter. This swirling mass of cold air, which typically remains locked near the North Pole, is now showing signs of instability. Meteorologists are closely monitoring its behavior, as even small shifts can have dramatic consequences for weather patterns across North America. Instead of staying contained, the polar vortex is forecast to become unstable, sending repeated powerful blasts of Arctic air deep into the heart of the United States. These surges will not be isolated events, but rather a series of cold waves that could last for weeks, impacting millions of people and stretching energy resources. The northern plains and upper Midwest will bear the brunt of this relentless cold. Residents in states like Minnesota, North Dakota, and Wisconsin should prepare for multiple prolonged periods of extreme cold. With wind chills dropping to life-threatening levels, schools may close, travel could become hazardous, and daily routines will be upended by the severity of the weather. But the impact won't stop there. These Arctic surges are expected to reach much further south than usual, bringing damaging freezes to the southern plains. Areas like Texas and Oklahoma, which are more accustomed to milder winters, could see crops and infrastructure threatened by the sudden intense cold. In a rare turn of events, even the Deep South will not be spared. States that rarely see snow or ice, such as Mississippi and Louisiana, may experience frosty mornings, and even the occasional dusting of snow, creating unusual and potentially dangerous conditions for residents and travelers alike. States unaccustomed to severe cold like Alabama will need to brace for the possibility of icy roads, frozen pipes, and power outages. Local governments and emergency services are already preparing for the challenges that come with such rare and extreme weather. Even Georgia, known for its mild winters, could see several significant cold snaps. Residents may find themselves scraping ice off windshields and navigating snow-covered streets, a sight rarely seen in this part of the country. The repeated southward surges of the polar vortex will fuel a series of snow and ice storms across the nation. Major highways could become treacherous, and travel delays are likely as plows work overtime to keep roads clear in both the Midwest and the South. This relentless cold air is the essential ingredient driving the season's most severe weather. It will amplify the risk of blizzards, ice storms, and dangerously low wind chills, making this winter one to remember for its intensity and reach. As the polar vortex continues to flex its muscles, prepare for a winter of brutal, memorable cold snaps across the eastern two-thirds of the nation. From the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast, millions will feel the icy grip of the Arctic, reminding us all of the power and unpredictability of nature. With a severe winter on the horizon, preparation is key for individuals and communities alike. Heavy snowbelts must brace for repeated storms and the physical and mental toll of a harsh season. In the Heartland, the focus should be on readiness for power outages and dangerous ice. Stock up on essentials, have emergency plans, and check on vulnerable neighbors. Municipal and state resources will be stretched, with road crews and utilities facing relentless demands. Heed warnings, avoid unnecessary travel, and support your community. By preparing now, we can weather the storms ahead and ensure safety through the challenging months to come.